Hi, I'm Sean Asmussen and welcome to this video. Someone has sent you along because they want me to share on video here a $110 opportunity to you. $110 that could turn into $5,000 and possibly, if we're all lucky, $50,000. Now I know right now I've probably lost 90% of you because that sounds way too good to be true, doesn't it? Yeah, exactly. Just like that 28-year-old who's a billionaire driving down the road, or maybe just a 40 millionaire, right? Flash car, $10 million mansion. Why? Because he bought Bitcoin in 2012 and he sold it in 2017. Well, all right, so he was lucky. So what? Right time, at the right place, all the rest, right? However, now we all know that you can make fast money in crypto. But is it a gamble? If you ask me, absolutely it is a gamble. And that's why I say to people, don't put in any more money than you're prepared to lose. And I'm going to show you one of those today. If you want to treat it like a gamble, that's fine. I'll give you resources so you can go and research if you want. But the way I'm looking at it is this. If you can put in $100 into something, they could potentially go to 5,000 or maybe 50,000. Is it worth the pain of risking $100? Right? You're not going to fail the mortgage this month if you put in $100 into it. So I'm sharing with you exactly what that opportunity is right here and right now, and I'll make it quick. Just in case you're wondering who you're talking to here, really quick, my name is Sean Asmussen. I've been an internet marketer since 2003. I've got 35,000 hours of hands-on experience in the field. I've worked with social media, brand marketing, all sorts of things. I've spoken, public speaker on stage with people like Kerwin Ray, J. Conrad Levinson. I've marketed people like John Assaraf from The Secret and Dr. John Demartini as well, and many others. I produced more than $15 million in sales between 2003 and 2010. And personally, I've had months where I've made over $240,000 in profits for myself that I was able to pay myself. But one thing I didn't do was pick up on Bitcoin when it was 10 cents. Now you've seen the guys, right? You've seen the people that made a lot of money in 2017 and they sold out. Personally, I know a guy who sat on over 100 Bitcoin that he bought for $1,000 total, and he sold it and made $2 or $3 million, bought himself a block of units, and now he lives off the income of those units. That's pretty cool, right? You know, imagine there was a guy that bought a pizza back in the day with what could probably buy you a kingdom today, right? With Bitcoin. What I want to show you is an opportunity that we're in right now. I'm going to give you all the resources to research and all the rest. So let's get into it because I'm going to make this short. So right now I'm on the inside of an opportunity where I can go and buy tokens in a project that is about to launch in August. All right, so this is going on an exchange, what we call a decentralized exchange. So this is what we call an IDO, an initial decentralized exchange offering. Now let me give you a quick example of how things work in the real world that most of us, don't live in. For instance, you will get what you call a venture capitalist. This is effectively what the banks do, right? But let's say a venture capitalist, and they get told that there's a business, and let's call this business ABC. And this business is raising money in order to go and do their business, get everything prepared and list on the stock exchange. I will call this an IPO, right? Initial public offering. So they go to the venture capitalist and they say, we're going to do 4 rounds of fundraising. And these 4 rounds, we're only going to have those venture capitalists on, the insiders. And in the first round, you're going to be able to buy our shares at 1 cent. In the second round, you're going to be able to buy them at 2 cents. In the third round, you're going to be able to buy them at 4 cents. And in the fourth round, you're going to be able to buy them at, you're right, 8 cents. So if you bought 1 million shares here at 1 cent, you've gone 800% on your money, right? You can make a lot of money. But the cool thing is that they normally go to the market at $1. So you and I, when our broker comes to us, they're going to say, would you like to buy this stock? This stock is called Microsoft. We're going to sell it to you for $1 and we think it's going to be $200 one day. So you buy it at $1 and go, great buy. But these guys have already gone 100 times their money. Did you wish that you could be part of that type of opportunity? Well, those opportunities do exist, but you need to be in the right place at the right time. And you need to have the right connections. You know the saying, it's not what you know, it's who you know. Well, what if you had a launch pad that actually presents these opportunities, that has the future Microsoft, the Googles and the Facebooks and the Litecoins and the doggy coins and all the rest, that come to them first and say, we've got a project, we're going to launch this project, we need to raise some money, and they do that with that. Then they go off and build their stuff, and then when they go to the market, it's $1. And you can sell them. Yeah, sure, some of these go belly up and you lose your money. But what if you invest in some of these? Just $100. What have you got? 100 times your money. $100, $10,000. You get my point? So this is a way that the rich make real good money. Now, some lucky people in 2015, 16 went and bought some Bitcoin, and in 2017, 2018 sold them and were multi-millionaires. So what's this $110 inside deal I'm going to share with you? All right, well, here it is. Now it's 110 because I'm including all your expenses. The actual deal is $100, and here's how it works. First of all, I'm on the inside right now. So me and another 120,000 people in the world out of 7.5 billion people know about this, right? It's just a small group. But what we are going to do is be able to do the venture capitalist deal. And guess what? We have a launch pad. So we are right now buying tokens in the launch pad itself. The launch pad that is in turn going to launch other projects. The launch pad that we are on the inside of, that we are buying tokens into for about 1/50th of what it's going to list on the exchange. That launch pad is going to give us access to the other projects so we can get in early. But let's just look at how to turn the $100 into $5,000 first, which is the plan, right? So first we have got round number 1, which we have access to, round 2, 3, and 4. And in round 1, they're going to release 75 million tokens. In round 2, they're going to release 75 million tokens. This is all to the insiders. And yet, no prizes for guessing. That's exactly what's launching in round 3 and 4. And in round 1, we, the insiders, which you can actually be part of if you want, are going to buy these at 10 cents. And that's on the 1st of July. And then in a matter of hours or maybe a day, whatever time it takes to move these, we're going to go up to round 2, and now we can buy them at 25 cents. And then in round 3, they're going to be selling at 50 cents. And in round 4, they're going to sell for $1. So what happens here is between round 1 and round 4, we've already gone 10 times our money. Because when you're on the stock exchange, you will always take the latest price, the most recent price, that's the price of the stock. So everything becomes that price, as long as we maintain that price. Now here's the cool thing. Then it's going to go to the public, an invitation-only public pre-sale that's going to sell it for $1, $2, $3, $4, and $5. And then after that, it's going to list on the exchange for the last price it sold for, which is $5. Okay, now this is where this gets really cute, right? Cute and smart, because I've shared this with my inside group and I'm going to share this with you now. The company themselves are going to take the money that they make from here, and I've worked out the average to be, I believe it was $1.38, but let's just allow for errors and say it's an average of $1. So if they average $1 on 300 million and this 100 million in total, so 400 million, they're going to have $400 million from this pre-sale. That's a lot of money to go out and build the company with, right? Okay, now, if you've got $400 million, what can you do with that $400 million? Well, you can obviously spend it. And here's what they've committed to do. They've committed to take a chunk of this money and go on the open exchange and start buying tokens at $5. Now, this is how life works for wealthy companies. They literally print money like a bank, because this is what the banks do anyway. So in token world, you can do that too. Print money, then take the money you printed and go back and support the price in the market. Now think about this. There's a restriction applied to these tokens, and that is because we're getting them at a crazy insider price, we can only sell 5% of them when they list on the exchange. And then what we've been told, and this is subject to change, is that we can sell 5% a month. Now that is subject to change. I don't know that for sure. But the point is that if everyone just went and dumped them on the market, then every Tom, Dick and Harry would just ruin the price back to 10 cents. So the idea is they want to be able to announce their projects, and they've got a big household crypto name, a household name that pretty much anyone in crypto know about, that are jumping on board on their launchpad to launch their new project, and they're going to use these guys to do it, right? So what's going to happen is that if only 5% of 400 million, right, let's go there, 5% of 400 million, that's 20 million. So if every single person didn't have the vision of these going any further than $5, and mind you, their projection is that they believe the token's going to go between $50 and $100. And that's why they're quite happy to keep spending $5 on it. Why do they think it's going to go that far? I'll share an example with you in a moment. Just a comparable example on coinmarketcap.com. So 5% of 400 million is 20 million. It means the circulating supply of these 400 million tokens sold in the pre-sale is 20 million tokens. It means that on the exchange, there's only going to be 20 million tokens available, even though there are 400 million in the market, because 95% are going to be tied up for a period of time. Stay with me, because this is where it gets really cool, right? And it is that if there are 20 million tokens on the market, have you heard of a term called supply and demand, right? Supply and demand will gauge the price, right? If there's too much supply, the price goes down. If there's too much demand, the price goes up. So if there are only 20 million tokens, and if they only cost $5, and if the company can go in and buy them at only $5, they will be able to buy up the entire supply for $100 million. So they can take 1/4 of the money they literally printed, and it's perfectly legal to do it. This is how crypto works. They can buy the entire supply for 100 million, and now there will be no tokens on the market. Now, this works in theory, but in real life, it doesn't work like that, does it? Because if someone goes and starts buying them at $5, then other people are going to start buying them at $5 too, because they're going to say, this thing isn't going down at all. As a matter of fact, the price is getting driven up. So before you know it, the price is 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 and 10. And now they don't need to buy any back. They could literally put in a $100 permanent order in place that says, as soon as something hits $5, snap it up, 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 take it, buy it. And Here's the other cool part, is what they actually can do now if you understand economics. You've got what you call inflation, where you just create more money and more money, and of course everything's still worth the same amount. So imagine you've got $100 and this is $100 worth, and now you make more of it, so everything is still worth $100. So it means every little part in there becomes worth less, because if there's only 100 $1 coins, you got $100. But if you now got 1,000 $1 coins, that's still worth $100. It means the price of everything just went up 10 times in order to fit into the inflation. These guys have got a deflationary model, which means that when they destroy tokens, the rest of the system retains the value. So there's a total of 1 billion tokens. Out of that 1 billion, let's say they bought 100 million tokens. 100 million tokens and then destroyed them. And let's say it cost them $400 million to buy all of them. If they destroyed all those tokens, that 400 million of value would get absorbed into the rest of the supply. The overall value is still retained. So when you've got something that's worth this much and you've removed a part of it, and you just remove it so it's no longer available, the rest of it absorbs the value. Everything goes up that is left. So what they can do is simply destroy tokens in their system, and the rest of the tokens go up in value. Now remember, these guys have got 600 million tokens left over, and they're probably not going to release them. That's probably just going to sit there and build value for them to put value into the company. Now, as I just want to add this to sort of finish this up for you guys, and that is that when a new company comes on board, let's say, I'm going to use an example here, and this is not the name that they're working with that I know of, but let's say Litecoin came around and they said, we are going to build a decentralized app store. We're going to compete against Apple and Google. And we think that we can do that so everyone can become an app store, and we're going to use Litecoin to do it. Now, I'm making this up as an example. It's a metaphor. So Litecoin come along to this company, this is Litecoin, and they say, we want to use your platform to launch our new token that's going to support a decentralized app store. And the company says, sweet, that'll be $10 million. I just made that amount up. So they're going to go, sweet, how do we pay you? They say, well, actually, you need to go to the exchange and buy $10 million worth of our token. That's how you pay us. Okay, no worries. So they go to the exchange, put in an order for $10 million worth of tokens. Those tokens get bought up, bang, the price shoots up, of course, because there's a massive order that goes in, but they don't care because they just got to spend 10 million. As soon as they've spent it, they'll transfer it to the company, and guess what the company does? They burn the tokens. They destroy them. They destroy $10 million of their own money. Totally destroy it, and it can't be retrieved. It is gone. It's out of history. It is nowhere to be seen and cannot be retrieved. Why would they do that? Because that 10 million is absorbed back into the value of the rest of the supply. So in a deflationary model, you can actually destroy money and still have the money. That's the beauty of economics. By doing this, what they're doing is they're pushing the value back into their token. The token becomes worth more. You and I become wealthier by holding that token, but so do they, because they hold the most tokens of the lot. They have got like 600 million sitting there. So they want them to keep going up. And as the price goes up, more investors will come along and say, this looks like a good token, and they will buy it. And as this token goes up in value, other projects come along and they want to be part of it, and they start paying, and then that amount gets destroyed. You can see the picture here, right? Now, the whole concept of destroying money just seems really bizarre, but it's amazing how it works. So let me finish up. I'm going to wind this up for you. Let's go into the final part. I'm going to give you resources in the comments below this video so that you can go and do all the steps that are required to become involved if you decide that this is for you. The first thing you do is you actually spend $100 US. That $100 US, you get that in what we call USDT, which is US dollars tethered. So it's simply just tethered to the US dollar. So one USDT is one US dollar. Now, the other thing you need is approximately 150 Tron, also known as TRX. That's the ticker for it. So that is approximately $10. This is the fuel in the tank of the vehicle that you're going to use in order to make that transaction. So call it a transaction fee. So a total of approximately $110. I won't write that down. That $100 will give you the ability, first of all, see this as a bonus because we're looking at this as getting access to the tokens, but you'll actually get access to our AI trader. That AI trader is going to trade the crypto markets for you automatically, which it does for me. And to date, since they put this online this year in March, I've made 28% return on my money. That has just done. Now, I don't know whether you've seen the crypto market. There's been a total bloodbath on the crypto market recently, some statements from China and all the stuff that goes on, and we're still 28% in profit. Right now, that part, just see that as a distraction that makes you money, if you like. If you've got $100 into this, you will be able to purchase $100 worth of tokens. Now, on the 1st of July, you can get them at 10 cents, 25 cents, 50 cents, and $1. The idea is to get them at 10 cents, and all it means is you follow my instructions, and I'll give you updates on WhatsApp or whichever way we can communicate. And I will let you know when to go in and buy them, and everyone will be able to get them at 10 cents. So if you've got $100, you'll be able to get 1,000 tokens. 1,000 tokens at 10 cents, which is obviously $100. Now, when they list this on the exchange, it's going to list at $5. So what would this be worth? It'll be worth $5,000, providing that we are listing at the $5. Now, they are planning to take this to $50 and $100. So how much is this? If it goes to $50, it's $50,000. Now, it's obviously not going to be $50,000 this year, is it? You know, this is a long-term vision. But what we're looking here is literally all things going to plan. The purchase of this is in July and the listing is planned to be in August. Yes, there are always going to be delays. Like that's literally guaranteed in life. But regardless, I'm talking $100 to 5,000 is a possibility. And nothing is guaranteed in life. We're all grown-ups, right? But at the end of the day, like I said at the start of the video, there's a certain level of pain of parting with $100, right? And if that pain of parting with that $100 is greater than the pleasure that you would get from 5,000, then you just don't get in. It's as simple as that. But if you think the pain of outlaying $100 is less than the pleasure of making $5,000 if it all goes well, then get in at $100, right? And of course it's 110 because you've got the fuel costs of the actual platform that we use. Now what I'm going to do quickly is jump online and share with you a comparable token that does literally the same as this one, and it's comparable as in they've got the same amount of tokens and they sort of do the same thing, except that those guys don't have the massive network that we have behind us. So we've got a massive leg up on the competition here. Okay, so let's switch over. Here I am on coinmarketcap.com. As you can see, Bitcoin here is as the king, number one. But what I want to do is go down to number 10. Uniswap. Now Uniswap is currently $17.80 US, obviously. And if I was to have a look at this, it's got 575 million circulating supply. Now, we are only talking about 20 million circulating supply short term on ours, but this is comparable because this one has got 1 billion tokens, which is exactly what we have too. So 1 billion tokens is worth $17.80, not $5, but $17.80. And if I have a look at the data, let's see if that will load up for me. Here it is. You can see here at the peak, it was worth over $40. So here's a token that is also a launchpad, albeit they don't have some of the benefits that we have with a massive community, 120,000, that will probably be 500,000 or 1 million next year. You just imagine the power in a community like that. Either way, 1 billion tokens, and there were $42 back in May, which is only a bit over a month ago. And now there's $17. The whole market's been in a big bloodbath. So you can say, well, do you reckon someone may have bought into this one at 10 cents? Well, it was 48 cents when they listed it, right? So if someone got in at 10 cents on this and they sold out anywhere here, that could be enough to retire them for the rest of their life. So that's it. It's a $110 opportunity. You can, of course, do more than $110, but I just want to show you the minimum amount you can do. And my advice to you is really simple. If you can sleep at night by putting $100 into something that's got potential to go up 50 times, maybe 500 times, then great. If you're not going to stress over the $100 and give your friend stick if you lose your $100, then great, then $100 is your level. Now, if you say, you know what, I want to go in at $1,000, I want to do $1,000, I can have 50 grand if it goes up 50 times, if it works out. Well, the question I've got for you is that if that doesn't work out and you put in $1,000 and it goes totally against everything that I've planned for and what you were wishing for, and you lose your $1,000, will you give your friends stick over that? Will you give them a hard time for showing you the opportunity? Because if you do, then $1,000 is clearly too much for you. So don't put in any more money than you are financially and emotionally capable of handling, right? So maybe that's $100, maybe it's $400, maybe it's $700, maybe it's $1,000, maybe it's not at all. Either way, here I am presenting a $100 opportunity to you. What I do know is this, that after the 1st of July, the ship is leaving the harbour. The train is leaving the station. And you will never, ever, ever be able to get this token at 10 cents again. And if this token is the one that goes 50 times, then it's probably good timing that you're here today. But this is very much a time-limited opportunity. There's only days left for this to happen. So the next step for you is to get back to the person who referred you and thank them. Secondly, ask them for their link for signing up. So that will show you how to do it. I'm going to have some references in the description here on how to go and purchase your USDT, which is the crypto, and the Tron as well, how to go and sign up and everything, but you will need their link to put through because they are an insider. And without an insider connection, you cannot get these tokens for less than $1. You can wait and there will be an invitation only pre-sale for the public of 100 million tokens that might get snapped up very, very fast after we, the insiders, have snapped up 300 million tokens at far less than that price. And then you will be able to buy them for no less than $1 as a part of the public. So go to your friend, grab their link, and then let them assist you, hold your hand through the process, or you can follow through my videos and see how to do it all, but you will still need their link. Thanks a lot, guys. Thanks for sharing your time with me here today. My name is Sean Rasmussen. I'm an internet marketer, and I really, really, really wish and hope that this works out for all of us. And when it does, we're all going to celebrate together. So Thank you very much. And if you decide to go ahead, then welcome to the team.